January 4th, 2019. The sun is beginning to set. Back off. Look, I just spent 2 hours talking to the masshole homosexual that reported me to YouTube. And now where's my cigarettes? Screw this shit. There they are. That's better. As I'm going to point out in the previous episode, those cobalt blue skies behind me is one of the reasons I live here. I love this place. Both my parents were born near here more than a century ago. And in the last video, and I promise you this one will be short, you know, in the past I've tried to stick to strict provable science. That got me nowhere. Like in 3 videos, it got me like 150 views. You hippies don't want to know about cannabinoid science. You don't know anything about biochemistry or whatever, so screw you. This is all kind of a precursor to the fact that probably tonight, after I get through waking up after a good drunk and a good dinner, I'm going to start digging around in my papers and try to find some 30-year-old sketchings that I made for a doctor that he knew that I kept him for 20 years, the longest ever, because most medical doctors are too retarded to deal with me. If, the biggest word in the world, if I do start tonight, I'm going to be telling you about the fact that we are not alone. All this crap you've seen on YouTube is mostly crap. All these old movies are crap. And I'd already decided a couple of months ago that one of the things I really wanted to focus on before I die, which could take forever because my oldest brother turned 86 last month, and he was a pipe smoker for like 45, 50 years. My second oldest brother is a pro football player, drug addict, HGH, amphetamines, booze, you name it. And he turns 82 this month. So I come from some people that are really hard to kill. Unlike that Seagull guy, that weird actor that walks with his feet splayed out like a, what is that, a seagull? It's not a pigeon toed, is when it goes in, it's fucking that weirdo. between that, what's his name? That weird Dutch dude, not Von Daniken, it's, anyway. And Siegel, they're just losers, complete freaking losers. And let me see if I can, because I want you to see that I still have my teeth. I'll rip your flesh off, okay? Tonight, probably late tonight, I spent such a beautiful day. It's been so calm and still, and all my battery array is charging up. My photovoltaic panels I've already got several small. I've got like a 2.5. I've got like a 6.8 amp hour battery charged up in case I need to travel with this phone or my other 2 phones that are ready on standby. And I just want to say that because actually I spent so much thought into it. Einstein was wrong. When you achieve the speed of light, you don't become infinitely large, you become infinitely small. It's kind of like a laser, but these laser guys go like, well, after like 30 miles or something, you got to have amplitude. No, you don't. Just like in the movie K-Pax, starring Kevin the Gay Spacey, he said there's an enormous amount of power in a beam of light. And so it is. And I know for sure. I will talk about it ad nauseum, ad infinitum, probably for the next 2 or 3 years until I'm satisfied. Tonight, when I get around to it, I'll start drawing out some crude old drawings and start telling you about my designs and what I've seen, and start naming the witnesses of the fact that we are not alone, and that I may actually be partially or not from this planet, which is proven by my 28 teeth. You have 32 or impacted wisdoms. You don't have O negative blood like all the Africans. You don't have the huge skull, in case you can't see it, that I have, that I knew by age 19 in the anthropology lab, that I was different than everybody else there. So, perhaps tonight I'll start recording and uploading the most incredible story of my life, which, well, actually starts in 1980, but it wasn't until 1985 that there were 3 other witnesses. But you know what? There were witnesses here for more than a century or so. My mother was one of them. My mother's a very religious person, converted to Christianity, but wasn't like, she didn't bow her head or anything. She was real low-key on her Christianity stuff. She wasn't one of them screaming, hollering, let's swing the snakes around people. But she was born right over there about 2,000 yards. And I'm going to tell you about the fact, and I'll show you tomorrow because there should be plenty of light according to the predictions. I'm going to show you where there's a portal on my neighbor's property, which used to belong to my family. And one of the reasons that the Indians, the Sibero-Americans, came here over 8,000 years ago and used to camp on this hilltop, but never desecrate it. They did do some, I found some evidence of them making stone tools, but there's a portal right over there that only exists at certain times. If you're so stupid that you think in this vast cosmos that this galaxy only has one planet that has life, you're a retard. I really are. You know what? Let me back up here. You know, in the past, when somebody would tell me that they had seen such and such or whatever, or I would automatically discount them as retards, because I could tell they were. What they saw was usually as a product of their meth consumption, which I'm not a meth addict, and only recently have been able to drink alcohol. But to back up, tonight and for probably the next 20 or 30 months, I'm going to focus on sharing with you my true genius that goes beyond the biochemical and biological. And I'm going to talk about the fact that beginning in 1980, I had my first close encounter. And in 1985, not once but twice here, they showed here and proved that there's a portal, which is actually, my neighbor built a shed over my great-grandfather's, one of his many houses, you know. He said, "Oh, I thought it was a corn crib." I said, "Please, EJ, corn cribs were made out of like these little quarter cedar. No, you're talking about something that was carefully cut out of 12 to 14-inch oak logs 200 years ago. I want to remind everybody watching right now that my family has been in America for 400 years this year. We have been in Texas for 200 years this year, 2019. I've got a retarded plumber neighbor who's destroyed his ability to speak to me because he's fallen into that San Antonio. He lives down in San Antonio, but I'll show you. There's a portal there that's available only at certain times. I'm going to tell you all kind of shit. I'm going to draw you sketches. But I want to start with my oldest. One day I was just tinkering around. But if you think that we are alone, even in this galaxy, you're a fucking retard. We're not. And, to tell you the truth, some of my worst perceptions is that this planet on the outer edge of the Milky Way galaxy is the Botany Bay of this galaxy. That's why we act so bad. I should say, you act so bad. Not me. I live out here alone. I stay away from you retards. I engage in no sin.